All right. Well, let's go ahead and kick off. Obviously, people can keep joining as we proceed. Okay. So get my screen here. Okay. So welcome everybody to the very short notice Honolulu County Candidate Forum. Strong showing of candidates tonight. So thank you guys for taking time out. I know it's very hectic, but the intent here is really twofold. One is we wanted to give you guys an opportunity to tell your story a little bit more prior to convention. But I think the other part is we realize that obviously not everyone can get to convention. I think we're at around 300. And Brett, what's the roster for the Republican Party? Is it around 30K?
20, about 20,000.
Okay,
so roughly, might be more than that. That's the majority. That's what's on Oahu.
Okay, so roughly 1% of the party is going to convention. So the other thing that this does, aside from getting your word out to delegates, is for the other 90% of the people that aren't going to convention, or 99%, when the election results are given, ideally people will be able to say, hey, I remember that person's speech and I know who that person is. So we are recording tonight, and we'll make the recording available to folks who want to, so folks can watch, and the folks that couldn't come here tonight can take a look at it. So, but I promise next time we'll get ahead of this. So the forum here, it's going to be fast paced because we've got a lot of folks to get through. And so again, the idea is we're going to do inside of each category, we'll do a 2-minute round robin. Folks will get the chance to give their elevator pitch. I'm going to mix it up so the alphabetical first guy isn't always first, which is probably a welcome change. And so we'll mix that up for those 2 minutes elevator pitches, and then we'll come back around to that same group and ask the first question. And that first question is going to be, what makes you uniquely suited for the position you are pursuing? And then each candidate in that group will get a chance to answer that for 1 minute. And then lastly, what does success look like for you at the end of your tenure? And be able to give a little bit about your vision on what you're going to do in the position. We'll round robin through that. We'll thank everybody, and then we'll move to the next candidate group. So any questions before we get started? No? Okay. So we do have a lot of candidates here. We also have some surrogates, some folks that are going to read for others. So I think I'm going to do 3 of them, and I think Tim Dollhouse is going to read for one of his folks as well. So you will hear a lot of my voice tonight. So let's get started, folks. In the state chair category, we've got 3 folks running in alphabetical order: is Tim Dollhouse, Mike Yalk, and Charlotte Rosecrans. And let's see, why don't we start, Mike, with you, and you can give us your 2-minute elevator pitch.
2-minute elevator pitch.
Yep.
Basically, my background is in construction management, construction engineering projects, putting together projects. That's why I don't have a slate. I've never had the opportunity to do that. I work with whoever I get to work with. So it's kind of a unique position. My background is basically in that. I do have a degree from Hamburg University. I was a store manager at McDonald's at the age of 22, but that was a long time ago. My main focus with this has to do with Seth Keschel. Got me kind of interested in going down the road. That's why he's back my candidacy. He's also put us up on his websites. And we need to clean the voter rolls, number one. But the other low-hanging fruit is get rid of the mail-in ballots. Those are the top 2. The other person I'm working with this is Ralph Cushney, he's a contractor. Got his his filings all the way to the Supreme Court, and found Nago guilty, but decided that there was no harm. William Dean, I think he just got out of the U.S. District Court, and with similar results. So that's a huge issue. I think the party needs to get behind that, get behind these individuals to fix that. We don't have anything if we don't get the elections fixed. If we don't have votes, we don't have voters. The rest of it is really kind of a moot point. So that's kind of where I go with that. I try to explain where I come from. This is where I go. Those are the most important things. The other thing that I've tried to talk about is that the precincts are the most important part of this whole party. The precinct chairs, vice chairs, secretaries, they are the backbone of this whole organization. Everything else should be set up to support them. From the
Okay, Mike,
state chair.
let me just say your time is up. Can you just wrap up real quick?
I'm good. We can go next.
Oh, okay, yeah, thanks. That was a quick wrap up. All right, well, thanks for your comments. Let's go ahead and go with Tim Dahlhaus next. So Tim, 2 minutes of why you are running for office.
Okay, thanks, Steve. Trying to get set up here. Got a little frog in my throat tonight, so apologize. So aloha mai, everyone. Aloha. I'm Tim Dahlhaus, and I'm a retired U.S. Marine combat veteran who knows how to get things done when the going gets tough. I'm also a business leader who's built and run several organizations. As your state chair, I'll lead the party to become a professional, smooth-running, election-winning machine. I have the trust and confidence and endorsement of some amazing Republicans you all already know. Our current state chair and state rep Diamond Garcia, Rep Gene Ward, Rep Lauren Matsumoto, Rep Elijah Pierik, Rep David Alcos, Senator Brent Awa, immediate former chair Lynn Finnegan, former Rep Bob McDermott, and former U.S. Congresswoman Pat Psyche. These Republican leaders support me because they know I have the proven leadership, business acumen, tenacity, and courage to propel us to success in the 2024 elections and beyond. I led major successes in 2022 with the super PAC I founded, Hawaii Conservatives. Our support got Reps Garcia, Pierik, and Alcos elected and defended Rep Matsumoto's seat. They are now the torchbearers for the Republican Party in their state legislature. Now I'm focusing my time, talent, and treasure to the state chair position to build on our 2022 momentum through disciplined execution of an effective battle strategy to build the size of our state Republican caucus in 2024 by creating a unified team culture laser focused on one strategic objective to win elections, by producing new and innovative funding resources in addition to traditional donors to make us a financial powerhouse, by building out critical party infrastructure and organization to empower grassroots success at the district level, by recruiting, training, and inspiring competitive candidates who represent the people and our party platform, by winning hearts and minds through effective messaging, events, and large, consistent media campaigns, by instituting greater election integrity through grassroots activism and necessary legal action. And we will never sacrifice the mission of winning elections to external pressure or internal distractions. Mahalo for your vote and your partnership in building a formidable Republican Party that wins more elections. Aloha.
All right, Tim, thank you. Thank you for doing that. Brett, do we have Charlotte on, or am I going to read her piece?
You're probably going to have to read her. They're on a plane to
Okay.
Hilo.
Okay. Let me reset my stopwatch here so I can time myself. All right. So let me surrogate in for Charlotte Rosecrans, and here's her speech. Hi, I'm Charlotte Rosecrans. Let me share with you all a little bit about myself. I've been a single mom for 16 years now to a 20-year-old son. I'm currently a licensed electrical contractor, 16 years in the IBEW 1186, which I left in 2015. And now I devote most of my time to help heal Hawaii. There are so many things that need attention, from educating our keiki to having good legislation that does not violate our inalienable rights. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty, 2 Corinthians 3:17. But this is how change begins, by doing things for the betterment of our posterity. Like most people within our state, know that most state departments are appointed people, not elected. Ironically, the HRP is similar. There are many things happening to Hawaii, and good trained candidates is where the change needs to take place. This is why I'm running for the state chair of HRP. Why am I qualified? I worked alongside 20 currently functioning districts, which are still going strong as we speak, as a Honolulu County executive member. During the HRP convention of 2021, despite illegal affidavits that didn't allow motions, I decided to stand for the voice of my people who elected me. In turn, I got removed from 2021 state convention for motioning for a temporary chair, violation of Section 212. After the forced resignation of Signe Godfrey, I was elected to attend the ad hoc committee for election of Lynn Finnegan, which we are still waiting for a response from the violations that occurred. Assisted 7 candidates throughout Honolulu that ran for office in the 2022 elections while I ran for office myself the first time. and stood against the abuse of power while attending several state committee meetings, which I still have a little PTSD. But the one who looks intently into the perfect law of freedom and perseveres in it and is not a forgetful hearer, but one who does good works, this person will be blessed in what he does. James 1:25. Things I want to accomplish as soon as I get in office include audit, financial transparency, decentralize the executive branch by ensuring that the power resides in the state committee, the voice of the people, proper accountability, ensure positions are upheld and functional. So to conclude, if you want a better Hawaii, vote Charlotte Rosecrans for state chair. All right, I had to abbreviate that a little bit because there's a little too much words for the 2 minutes there, in my opinion. Okay. So let's go into the round robin questions. And Tim, why don't we start with you for 1 minute of time? What makes you uniquely suited for the position you're pursuing?
There we go. Got myself off mute again. Too many buttons. Oops, sorry. I got screens covering up the.
No worries. Get yourself set up there, and then we'll start time when you're ready.
Okay, yeah. So thank you for your patience. What makes me uniquely qualified? I rose to the rank of the senior enlisted rank in the Marine Corps, E9 Master Gunnery Sergeant. And at the time, I was responsible for leading several thousand Marines, and I fought in 2 combat operations. It gives me a unique leadership experience. As a volunteer treasurer, I fully funded a nonprofit organization that I was with for consecutively for 5 years. I also created a successful company from scratch that now produces over $4 million in annual revenue. I ran for statewide office, U.S. Senate in 2022, and won all the neighbor islands. And I also assembled a slate team of 8 professional party officer candidates who have already been working as a cohesive team for the last 2 months, formulating our program strategy for the party. Shirlene Ostrov, Paul Morgan, Monique DuPont, Vea Lautaha, Keone Simon, Anna Hudson, and Sheila Walker all serve on that team. All these Clinton patriots have either been a candidate for public office or directly worked on a candidate campaign.
Okay. Thanks. Thanks for that.
Sure.
Mike, do you want to do your 1 minute on what makes you uniquely suited for state chair?
Sure. In my background with the engineering field that I work in is multi-million-dollar projects, 350 million is the largest. I interface with state officials, county officials, city officials, tribal officials, design engineers, architects, also anyone associated with it, local citizen groups, testing lab, my field staff, HOAs, and various others. I make cohesive groups to work forward to have a successful project, and I look at this as a business and needs to be dealt with as such. I have a vision for where we're going to go, and I get people together to reach that vision. We keep focused on what is the end game, and basically, I'll reiterate again: the precincts is where it's at. Getting them data, which I've talked about before. We need data that is good, that they can use to recruit, and it's in the state rules. We're not getting it. That's the first thing I want to fix, and that's pretty much it.
Okay. Thank you for that. And let me pull up Charlotte here. So for Charlotte Rosecrans, the third candidate for state chair, very succinct. She simply says, "I am a doer, and I will get things done. I started from the bottom and will always ensure that the precincts will be heard." All right. So then the final question there for the state chair candidates is, what does success look like for you at the end of your tenure? So Mike, why don't you kick us off on that one?
Sure. 65% of our precincts do not have any, are open. I would like to see all those filled by the end of the 2 years. The precincts are the lifeblood of this whole organization, and the rest of the organization supports those positions. So that's what I would like to see, 65%, all of them filled, and us having our calendars all filled with events. They're all blank now. They all need to be filled with events.
Okay, thank you for that. And let's see, I'll take the next one here for Charlotte. Jump over to that real quickly. Okay, so for Charlotte Rosecrans, she indicates, she says, hey, having two parties in Hawaii is what success will look like. Many well-trained legislators in our state that are willing to go against the oligarchy that we have right now. And then she went on to list a couple specific things that she plans to accomplish. Proper accountability by the per the bylaws, ensure all positions are upheld and functional, full communication throughout the state, all candidates prepared and trained to hold seats in the Hawaii legislature, all policies, have policies to enact legislation for the betterment of the people of Hawaii. And then she wrote, I am here to serve and not to be served. I will not hold this seat for any personal gain, but to ensure the voice of the people are heard. All right, thank you, candidates. So that concludes our first round with the state chairs. Team, thanks for joining. Yes.
Yeah, I didn't answer that question. Do you want me to go on that?
Oh, I'm sorry. Apologies.
That's
Thanks
all right. You got a lot
Thanks
going
for
on.
keeping me straight, man. I was
man.
used to going last. All right, Tim, please, what does success look like for you at the end of your tenure?
Yeah, thank you, Steve. So, you know, my goal stated earlier was to win elections. That's the whole strategic goal and plan for our pro-win strategy for the party. So, in keeping with that, what success looks like is winning elections, and we're going to measure that by the goal of doubling the size of our Republican caucus in the state legislature in 2024, and then setting up for doubling it again in the next election cycle. So we have a very, very defined goal, doubling our Republican caucus, putting Democrats on the defensive in every race, increasing annual party revenue to sustainably over $2 million a year. That's where we believe we need to be. Consistently filling our party district and precinct officers, as Mike mentioned, and building a cadre of professionally trained candidates and activists that are ready to support the next election cycle. Thank you, Steve.
All right, my apologies again. Now that concludes our first round with the state chairs. So thanks everybody for joining. Okay, Brett, do we have Lohi or Charlene? I do not see either one of those.
Yes, Lohi is here.
Okay. All right, excellent. And Charlene?
No, she has not signed in yet.
Okay. All right, so folks,
Charlene can't be here, Steve.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Tim.
She's traveling.
Yep. Understood. All right. Lohi, you have the floor as the candidate for coordinated campaigns. And so if you would just give your 2-minute speech on why you're running for office.
Sure. Aloha. My name is Lohi Goodwin. I live in Kau on the Big Island. I've been a member of the party for about 3 years. I'm a ex-Air Force senior enlisted also. I'm running for this office to make this party great again. Basically, I basically feel like our candidates that have run this past cycle have not gotten the support they have deserved from the party. It seemed like some candidates got support and some didn't, and some ended up on a list from what I heard at the county convention in Oahu. And it seemed like those were the people that were blacklisted from the party. I'm not a big fan of groupthink. I'm a fan of thinking for myself. I vow to beg some of these patriot candidates that ran this last cycle to do it again under new leadership, where we bring people together and we aloha each other, where we don't push people out because they think different than us. That would be our Democrat opposition. First and foremost, I think this party needs to start being transparent. I think that this party we need to open everything up for the people. We need to empower the district chairs. We need to empower the state committee. That's where the power is. The power does not reside in the executive committee. Due to popular belief that that's how it's been running here for the past few years. I am dedicated to to fighting to turn the structure of this party upside down, where the people make the last say, and the executive committee actually just steers the boat. My name is Lohi Goodwin. I appreciate your vote for coordinated campaigns, and thanks for having me, you guys. Nice to see you all. Aloha.
All right, thanks, Lohi. You actually get to keep the microphone since you're the only candidate here. So can you give us 1 minute thoughts on what makes you uniquely qualified for coordinated campaigns?
Maybe for the past my past 5-6 years in the Air Force, I was a project manager for the Pacific Endeavor, which is the biggest humanitarian disaster relief project in the Pacific for the U.S. Pacific Command. I have a lot of experience in relationship building, multinational, multicultural, and maybe we don't have that diversity here in Hawaii, since this is my hometown. But we need to bring this party together through aloha. Aloha meaning building trust within the members, meaning that we open up, shine light on the darkness that's been over this party. I believe if we don't shine light on the backroom deals and the secret meetings that we've been having over the past few years, and the breaking of the rules, which is in the officer oath. If we don't stop doing those things, then there's going to be no aloha. There's going to be no trust, and there's going to be no opportunity for us to move forward. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Lohi. And then the final question for you is, what does success look like? At the end of your tenure, what will you look at to go, yes, I succeeded?
I think if the slate vows to return the party back to the people, I could see this party taking off in 2024. In 2020 and 2016, there was a big Trump bump, which we never got here. I believe that was due to distrust in the party, and that's due to people disregarding procedure and disregarding the rules, which is actually in the oath of the whole HRP oath for officers. So if all of those things fall in line, I can definitely see in the end of my tenure, this party at least tripling or quadrupling our representation in the legislature, and hopefully getting a good candidate for governor. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Lohi. I appreciate that. All right, let's get ready to move to the next section here. And I'm going to be one of the readers here, so give me just a second to pull up that person's notes. Okay. All right, so our next category here is for Vice Chair for Candidate Recruitment and Training. Paul Morgan, would you like to kick us off with your 2 minutes?
Okay, thank you very much. Thanks for having me. Aloha, my name is Paul Morgan, and I'm running for Vice Chair of Candidate Recruitment and Training of the Hawaii Republican Party. You may remember me as a first-time candidate for Governor of Hawaii 2022. I'm running for Vice Chair of Candidate Recruitment and Training because I believe it matters that the HRP has candidates who are inspired to run for office and are able to inspire people to vote for Republican values. We have to win races because this is where change occurs. I'm passionate about recruitment and will build a team that will recruit and support candidates from the necessary aspects of winning elections. We will implement a training pipeline and boot camps for current and future candidates with the assistance from past and current elected officials from all levels, county chairs, district and precinct leaders, and the Leadership Institute. I'm inspired by Tim Dahlhouse's leadership abilities and his pursuit of state chair, Shirlene Ostrov and her faithful leadership as the first vice chair, Anna Hudson and her trusted ability to serve as secretary, Sheila Walker's trusted ability to fiscally manage as treasurer, Monique DuPont's ability to engage all party members as vice chair of communications, Vea Lautaha, enduring presence as a vice chair of community service, and Keone Simon's community mindset as a vice chair of coalitions. My name is Paul Morgan. I'm running for vice chair of candidate recruitment and training, and I appreciate your support for myself and for this slate. Let's go 2024. Mahalo.
All right. Thank you, Paul. Let's see. So our second of two candidates for Vice Chair of Recruitment and Training is Terry Savaiinaea, and I will be reading for her. She is en route. And Brett, can you pull up the flyer, please? All right. So for Terry Savaiinaea, aloha, fellow Republicans. I'm speaking for Terry Savaiinaea, sorry, who apologized for being unable to be here, but she's on a plane right now. Terry was born and raised on Oahu and is married with 3 adult sons. God and her family is her why. Her experiences include obtained a bachelor's in nursing from UH Hilo in 2016. She joined the Hawaii Republican Party on December 12, 2020, was appointed district chair by Brett Colbus on May 25th, 2022, elected as District 45 chair on June 20th, 2022. She organized and held a meet and greet for 14 Republican candidates and 1 nonpartisan candidate in Makaha on July 19th, 2022. Terry is the current District 45 captain for the Hawaii Convention of States Action, supported in the state's platform. And on March 25th, 2023, by God's grace, was elected as Honolulu County Regional Vice Chair of Leeward Oahu. Upon assuming this position, 6 out of 7 districts were unorganized and only District 45 was organized. Now there are 4 out of these 7 districts organized. And then give me a second to switch pages here. She has a plan. Terry will immediately collaborate with the district, county, state, and elected leaders to identify and recruit the cream of the crop. For far too long, we have fielded too many one-and-done candidates. We all know it's rare that a first-time candidate ever wins. With my plan, we will recruit early, train early, and provide candidates with the support and tools needed to build their campaign and teams. Candidates will be provided with continuous support and encouragement for their success in 2024 and beyond. Her plan also includes building a bench of future candidates. This is Terry Savaiinaea, and she humbly asks for your vote for Vice Chair of Candidate Recruitment and Training. God bless Hawaii, and God bless America. All right. Paul, how about, can you please answer the first question on why are you uniquely qualified?
Well, I think I'm uniquely qualified because of my rookie experience as a candidate jumping into the largest race in the state of Hawaii. And knowing that it was an uphill battle, being unknown, being an outsider, being from the outer islands, but still had the desire and persistence and idea to build a team from across the state to assist with that endeavor. And knowing what I did know, I sought out guidance through the Leadership Institute and other people across the state who had more experience. So being able to bring all those different things together and knowing what a candidate needs from a local level all the way to a governor's race, I think that's what makes me the best candidate for this position.
All right, thank you. And then again, on behalf of Terry, what makes Terry uniquely suited for the position? Terry writes, I have a plan and I will immediately work in collaboration with all district, county, state, and elected leaders to identify and recruit the cream of the crop to represent each district in the 2024 election. All right. And then Paul, I guess I'll take the second one first, just to give you a break from going first all the time. Sorry, yanked out my earbud there. So what will success look like at the end of the tenure? Terry writes, at the end of my tenure, Republicans will have won more seats in the House and Senate and become the majority. My vision for Hawaii goes beyond 2024. It's important to provide continuous support and encouragement for the continued success in Republicans winning second and third term elections. Thank you. I'm Terry Savaiinaea, and I humbly ask for your vote for Vice Chair, Candidate Recruitment and Training. All right, Paul, over to you. What is
okay? So just two points to make right now. It's just actually doubling the number of legislators that actually currently in office, and while we're in that process, it's working with those legislators who've actually won to bring them a part of what we're doing to increase that winning percentage, to do some of the things that they've done, so that other candidates who are going through this process won't have to reinvent the wheel. And the second one is a sustained candidate training and support program. And that's from a perspective of, do you have the desire? Do you have the position, the persistence in order to complete a campaign trail? And along the way, some things that you need to have in place and people you need to have in place across the state to support those efforts. So building out that training and development candidate recruitment program will be those two things. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Paul. I appreciate that, and thanks to Terry for emailing in her responses. All right, let me get back over to my sheets. All right, next up is the three folks running for vice chair for communications. In this group, we have Monique DuPont, we have Gil Logan, and Emil Sverchina. Emil, you're going to kill me. So, Emil, why don't you kick us off with your 2-minute presentation and correct me on how to pronounce your name, please.
You're doing great, Steve.
Thanks, man.
Don't worry, don't worry. Not only with my name, but also with the whole establishment here. It's wonderful. Thank you for doing that. And, hopefully your voice stays strong like it is right now. Yeah, my name is Emil Sverchina. I'm running for vice chair of communications. I am father of 5 children, so I'm heavily invested in the future in this country. I'm married to my wife for over 40 years now, and she's the one which I had the pleasure to escape communism 35 years ago. So I value the values what this country can provide for everybody, and we have to challenge the Democrats, because the Democrats basically remind me of the socialism what I escaped from. So we have to really unite this party, and the unification will begin when the separation between the executive committee and the grassroots ends. So what I would like to do is really give those grassroots as much tools as a communication vice chair, give them transparency, transparent website where they can come and really find exactly what they need. I was active in community. I'm active currently. I'm 10 years already member of neighborhood board. I run for office 3 times for House, 2 times for Senate, twice for City Council. So I'm not passive or ignorant or do nothing type of guy, because I know, while I'm alive, I can do something. When I'm dead, too bad. So I would always ask people to do the right thing, vote their conscience, and vote the old and corrupt out, because we have plenty of those in our party, unfortunately. That's the only reason why the Democrats are here in this state for 7 decades almost. That's almost like embarrassment. And, we have to bring the new and clean in. So I have to ask that if you do that, there will be a much more Republican elected into office. But guess what? They also will be the true, commonsensical, fearlessly patriotic Republicans for a change. And only then there will be no more confusion about what Republican brand in Hawaii means. And people will follow, and they will appreciate our existence here. So they won't be confused if there is any other party or not. They will know there is a party. So again, my name is Emil Sverchina. I'm humbly asking you for your vote, as I truly want to serve you as your vice chair of communications and make Republican brand in Hawaii great again. Aloha.
All right, thank you, Emil. I appreciate that. Next up, speaking for Monique DuPont, is Tim Dahlhaus.
Yep. Okay. Let's see here.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you. I'm sure I won't sound as pretty as she does, but Wailina mai kako. My name is Monique Mahealani DuPont. I'm born and raised in Waimea. Hawaii is my home, and I'm here today to share with you my manoa for running for vice chair of communications for the Hawaii Republican Party. I am a mother and wife and the co-owner and operator of our tile contracting business, which just celebrated 13 years of success. I'm the president at my daughter's Hawaiian language immersion school in Waimea, and I also serve as the chair of communications there. I volunteered with several campaigns, and I was appointed as the membership chair for the West Hawaii GOP. My commitments to my ohana and my community are very important to me. My passion is helping people, and my ability to communicate effectively enables me to do that well. I firmly believe that the strength and success of any organization lies with the people. As Vice Chair of Comms, I am committed to improving the communications within the party as well as the public. Within the party, I plan to meet and listen to district chairs to recruit and strengthen the precincts. I will also work with county chairs and membership to ensure that all HRP members are getting the emails, notices, and information that's generated. Streamlined systems and open channels of communication will be established. With a strong and organized body, we can then take the message of the Hawaii Republican Party and share with the public. As a united party, we will recruit more members to join us and stand up against a Democrat, corruption, and control. The role of the HRP is to support candidates and help them win elections. We cannot successfully address election integrity, the Jones Act, the rail, homelessness, issues in our schools, protect our keiki, none of it if conservative candidates aren't elected. I'm organized, solution-driven, professional, and ready to work immediately. My valuable skills and experiences are what's needed to support candidates to win elections in 2024.
All right. Thank you, Monique. Thank you, Tim. And then our third speaker here for 2 minutes is Gil Logan. Gil, you have the floor.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks for the opportunity to speak with everyone tonight. So many impressive ideas out there. It's pretty awesome. I'm Gil Logan, and a little bit about myself. I have about 25 years of management experience in the areas of healthcare, retail, and most recently in higher education. I've worked in many areas of business communications. My background as far as education and training is a little unique because I have degrees both in business communications as well as business management. And one of the things I've done in recent years is spend a lot of time doing corporate training. And I've worked with companies such as Wells Fargo, Pfizer, and the Grand Wailea Resort to strengthen their management teams through business communication skills. I think the communications area is more than just the website and social media, and those are very important for sure. But one thing we need to do for sure is to really strengthen the bridge between the state, the counties, and the precincts. My goal literally on day one is to start listing as much as possible and meeting and having forums with those counties and precincts and come up with a strategic communications plan that will work to implement in the upcoming weeks and months. I believe in respect, collaboration, and transparency, and I believe everything that I would do would reflect those values. In terms of my political background, I'm a lifetime Republican and a lifetime conservative. I've been active in Hawaii GOP for about 8 years now. I've served as a District 11 chair. I served as the vice chair of communications for the Maui County Republican Party, and I'm currently serving in the role of vice chair of communications in a shortened term. I've been in that role for about 6 weeks now, and I am asking for your vote for a full term to continue the work that we've just started, because as our great President Trump would say, the best is yet to come. Thanks so much.
All right, right on 2 minutes exactly, Gil. Very nicely planned. Gil, why don't we have you hold the floor and answer with the 1 minute response on why are you uniquely qualified for this position?
Sure. I'll give you 3 E's with this: experience, empathy, and enthusiasm. The experience I laid out a little bit earlier, so I won't say anything else about that. But the other 2, empathy, I really want to listen to what our party members want and need and really work with them again to develop that strategic plan and help implement it and make sure we are getting the right candidates and we're winning elections. And the last one is enthusiasm. As someone with a background in human resources and management, the number one thing you look for in an employee is enthusiasm. And I want to bring that to the table. So the 3 E's, that's what I think will help make me the best candidate for this position.
Okay. Thank you, Gil. Monique / Tim, how about over to you for 1 minute on unique qualifications?
Yes. So for Monique, I am uniquely suited for communications because of my natural ability to connect with people. I listen, I'm level-headed, I'm fair, and I'm focused on solutions, not problems. And I yield the remainder of the time.
Okay, thank you. All right, and then Emil, unique qualifications.
Well, I I'm already involved with IT for many, many years. I currently work for Cancer Center as a program and analyst and designer of the application, so I can help definitely with the website. I know it's not the only focus here. We communicate with people. I want to emphasize that I want to make sure that the precincts are the leading and the power in this party. So I want to give them as many tools as possible, which means the information, because we are really engaged in this humongous info war. The media are not on our side. They are supporting the government. So we have to do it this way, and we have to do it the social media way. And that's where I would like to emphasize that my experience is there. I have a master's degree in nuclear science. It won't help much unless we're gonna bomb the big square building, but we don't want to do that either. But anyway, there is a way that we can have intelligent people working in executive committee, so they are not in a way of the power of the people from the precincts. I yield.
Okay, thank you for that. And let's jump.
It was just a joke about the bombing. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, it was taken as a joke. Okay, let's go back over to Monique for what does success look like at the end of your tenure?
Okay. See, I'm off mute. Yes, I am. Okay. Success at the end of my tenure looks like winning. We will have recruited, trained, and supported Republican candidates who won their seats. We want to double our numbers in the legislature. We will have also recruited more members to the Republican Party there for rallying more votes for our candidates.
Okay. Thank you, Monique. And then, Emil, over to you again for what does success look like for you?
Yeah, I would like to turn the house of evil into house of common sense. So, that's what I meant by the bomb. And I definitely on the website, again, coming back there, because, that's the information hub. I want to be the go-to for all the Republicans. I want to show there those 65% of empty precincts. So, we can have those people motivated when they see the Republican Party is meaningful again. They will go to the website. They will find out exactly where they can help. They will see that they are living in a precincts where nobody is president. So they might step up immediately. And we will naturally create a red wave instead of, paying for, whatever the corruption which is in the party right now, and, kind of go along without considering the lives of the people which are suffering. There's a lot of people leaving the islands already because they don't see the hope. But, the Republican Party can be the shining city, the party on a hill again. I yield.
All right. Thank you, Emil. And then Gil Logan, your vision for success.
Speaking in some general terms right now, definitely it's all about the winning. It's about increasing candidates and increasing the winners in there. Also, I would say having a world-class website, world-class social media. We need to have positive spin out there in the mainstream media as well, so they don't just ignore us and pretend that we don't exist. But more specifically, we'll need to create metrics, and part of that will come out of the strategic communications plan. We need to first identify the areas we're going to focus on specifically to get to that winning. And once we identify them, we'll identify the metrics and how to conclude if we've been successful or not. Thanks.
All right. Thank you so much. All right, team. That concludes our section for the communications folks. And thank you all for participating. Next up is the seat for Vice Chair for Community Service. We have 3 folks competing there alphabetically. It is Vio Manidi Lautaha, Anna Odom, and Joelle Sechel. And Anna will not be able to join us this evening, so I will be reading her section. So why don't we kick off with Joelle Sechel, if you can give us your 2-minute thoughts on your desire for the position.
Thank you, Steve. My name is Joelle Moana Sechel. I am the daughter of Bible translators. I grew up in Papua New Guinea, and I was there until I was 18 years old. When I graduated, I moved to Washington State, and I lived there for 10 years before transitioning to the islands. I worked for Walmart until I was 30, so I worked at 4 locations on the mainland, and I worked at the Kemoko location here on Oahu. So the last 8 years I was with the company, I managed business operations. For the last 5 years, I have worked as a realtor here on the island of Oahu. I currently live in Palolo, and I am a rules representative for my district. I also am a precinct president. In 2022, I helped Junior Tupai with his campaign before transitioning to running for office myself. I ran for House of Representatives for District 21. Even while running for office, I began to deeply feel that one of our biggest opportunities and greatest weaknesses here on the islands is food security. With 90% of the food we consume being imported, we pay some of the highest prices in the nation for food, and we spend over $3 billion annually to do so. So I have been working since the elections with my neighbors, both Democrats and Republicans, to unite people through the sharing of resources and knowledge around self-sustainability with food. We must bridge the gap between the gap of inflation and counter the intentions of the World Economic Forum and globalist interests. So it's time to sound the horn and revive the Victory Farm movement of World War II, where 40% of our nation's food was actually produced from people's at-home gardens. So as the Democrats continue to make it virtually financially impossible for us to live out here, the Republican Party has a huge opportunity to start a grassroots movement and save the people of our islands through food security. So thank you for your consideration when it comes to making your selections in voting, and vote for Seashell so that we might grow the community throughout our islands based around this vital issue for the Hawaii Republican Party.
All right. Thank you, Joelle. Next up is Via Lautaha. Can you explain to us your 2-minute presentation?
Aloha, my name is Vea Moniti Lautaha, and I'm running for Vice Chair Community Service of the Republican Party of Hawaii. I love my family, and I love you, and I'm forever grateful to the United States of America for the opportunity to learn, to grow, and to serve others. I and my family loves the people of Hawaii and embraces its diversity. In March of last year, 2022, I ran for the first time as a state representative candidate for District 36 Waipahu. Such an uphill race trained me to swim with sharks and to give my all to the Republican Party of Hawaii. In God we trust. He is our Father in heaven, the Almighty God of the universe. He loves each and every one of you. I'm running for this Vice Chair Community Service because I care about you and I love our local communities. Likewise, I want to use my people skills, technological proficiency, and construction experiences coupled with my church affiliations to promote, perpetuate, strengthen, and grow the Republican Party of Hawaii and a number of its representatives. I am gifted by God to promote and cultivate the divine endearment of community service images of the Republican Party, which is everywhere in the state of Hawaii, to increase the horsepower of community service endearment images everywhere, from feeding vagrants, painting graffiti, visiting elderly folks, ministering to patients in hospital, and picking up trash on our highways, to empower the efficiency and effectiveness of our community service images by leading with examples and respecting others' beliefs and values, to double up the connectivity and retainability of community service island-wide by searching and connecting with the quiet and new supporters and inviting them to be one of us. Thank you and mahalo for your vote and for your love. Mahalo, Vea.
All right. Thank you, Via. I appreciate that. I will, let me reset my timer here, and I will read for Anna Odom. Okay, so on behalf of Anna Odom, as a proud member of the Republican Party and a candidate for Vice Chair of Community Service, I want to talk to you about how we can make Hawaii feel like home again. Community services are a crucial part of our mission to serve the people of Hawaii, and I believe that by focusing on this area, we can make a real difference. Think of it like a new project, a blank slate with endless possibilities. From slipper drives to Kapuna Story Hour, we have a variety of exciting initiatives we can get involved in. These events bring our communities together to work towards a common goal of making Hawaii a better place for all who call her home. We also want to collaborate with local businesses and organizations to create a network of ongoing community service projects that make a real difference in the lives of our fellow islanders. By working together, we can create a residual income of service that keeps giving back to our communities. And as we look into the future, we are also excited about the potential for tourism to support our community service initiatives. By inviting visitors to participate in local community service events like beach cleanups, we can show them the spirit of aloha and the importance of caring for our islands, providing crucial education, all while growing our Republican Party networking base. This has a potential to grow our party and show Republicans are here and active in so many ways. So I urge you all to commit to community service as your first act of making Hawaii feel like home again. Whether it's volunteering at a project or simply spreading the word, there are all sorts of ways to get involved. Let's show everyone what it truly means to be a member of the Hawaii Republican Party: service, community, and aloha. Thank you. All right. And then on behalf of Anna, I will take the first bite at the why are you uniquely suited for the position you're pursuing? Anna writes, I am honored to be running for the position of Vice Chair of Community Service. I believe I bring a unique perspective and valuable experience to this role. However, I must acknowledge the other candidates running alongside me. They too bring a wealth of skills, knowledge, and passion for community service. At the end of the day, it's not about one person, but rather the collective energy and effort we bring to the goal. We need all hands on deck to build a strong team that can go out and make a real difference in our communities. Community services is at the heart of what we do as a party. By working together, we can not only benefit our communities, but also grow the growth. But also the growth of our party and the election of more Republicans to office. It's through good works, kind acts, consistent support, outreach, and education that we show who we are as people and what we stand for as a party. So I urge you all to consider what uniqueness you can bring to the Hawaii Republican Party community services and to our communities and their goals. Together, let's build a community of service for all and continue to support the values and principles that make our party great. Okay, Via, over to you for your 1 minute thoughts on why are you uniquely suited?
I believe politics start from home, from family. Family is the most important unit in society. If we empower, strengthen that small unit, our politics, our government will be fine. I'm a father, I'm a husband, and I love to serve others. I love to go out and serve people. I volunteer seminary teachers in the morning. I do it for free. I don't care. I want to go out there and help others be a good people. And that's my quality.
All right, thank you. And Joelle Seychelle, your 1 minute thoughts on what makes you uniquely qualified?
Well, I would say that my upbringing makes me uniquely qualified. I grew up in a third world country in an agrarian environment. So the village I lived in, you know, you had to hand wash your clothes. You had to survive off the land. There was no store to buy something from. You had to go out and fish or garden. And so when you have communities that are based on this lifestyle, the depth of the relationship and the understanding of everything kind of realigns backwards against starting with the things that are most basic. Your most basic needs become the most important. And so those relationships are sustained through the giving of food and supporting of each other. So I think that my perspective and seeing how society can be run in this aspect will allow me to help to cultivate that community. And I've already started doing that here in my community. So that's what I've got. Thank you, Steve.
All right, thanks very much. Joelle, why don't you hold the mic and give us 1 minute thoughts on what success will look like you at the end, or look like for you at the end of your tenure.
Yeah, I want to see the most robust Hawaii Republican Party that our state has ever seen. I would like to see the growth begin from the precinct level and continue up through the structure. And so I think that implementing pilot programs in communities where we're bringing families out, where we're focusing on the community itself and representing the Republican Party, but not basing what we're doing for the community solely on political affiliation. I think as times get more tough for people and food becomes more of an important issue, which it will, I think that the Hawaii Republican Party can have a reputation that's built on that will help to change, people who have been Democrats for generations. It'll help to change their mindset about who we are and what we're doing.
All right, thank you. And let me take the next slot here on behalf of Anna Odom. Let me reset my timer here. Okay. Success for me at the end of my tenure as Vice Chair of Community Services would be defined by the impact we have made on our communities. I envision a future where the Hawaii Republican Party is known not just for our political views, but also for our contributions to the well-being of our fellow islanders. Success would mean having a thriving network of ongoing community service projects that have made a real difference in the lives of the people we serve. It would mean bringing our communities together in a spirit of aloha and cooperation to work toward a common goal of making Hawaii feel like home again. Success would also mean growing our party and electing more Republicans to office. By demonstrating our commitment to service and community, we can show voters that we are not just about politics, but also about improving the lives of those we represent. Ultimately, success is about leaving a lasting legacy of positive change in our communities and setting the foundation for continued growth and progress in the future. Thank you. Okay, and then Via, back over to you for your closing thoughts on what success looks like for you.
I think success has already been defined by Tim Talhouse and the rest of his team. So we're here to win. We're here to bring good people to represent the Republican Party of Hawaii that believes in the value. We need people who believe in God. In God we trust. And the people that I'm working with, Tim Dalhouse, Paul Morgan, Shayla, Anna, and everybody else, they have that personality, that characteristic. To me, that is success.
Okay, thank you very much. Folks, that concludes our section for community service. Thanks everybody for joining. And let's move on to our next section. We've got 3 sections left. We've got Vice Chair for Coalitions is coming up next. Alphabetically, that's Cheryl Beeler, Kaulana Lee, and Keone Simon. Kaulana could not be here tonight, so I will read for him. And then Brett, did Keone log in by chance?
No, he has not.
Okay. So let's see. Cheryl, why don't you take the mic first and give us your 2 minutes on why you're running for office.
Okay, so I am running for office. So there is no denying that our party needs help. Our membership numbers are so low. There's 861,358 registered voters in the state of Hawaii, yet the Republican Party has only 40,000 registered members. That is the reason that I'm running for coalitions. My focus will be to find and register more Republicans to the party, to find those independent voters and to find the walkaways and to find those who were disenfranchised previously and bring them back. Registering more Republicans to the party means that your vote will count. Registering more Republicans to the party means that maybe we can find some good candidates to take seats in the legislatures. The Republican Party, as it stands right now, wants to tell you what a great job they did in sitting people in the seats in the House and the Council. No, they didn't. That's fake news, folks. 132 seats open and only 7 seats, and most of them were already seated. So no, that's not a good job. And as far as coalitions goes, my job will be to find these people and register them again so that we can possibly become a 2-party system here in Hawaii. Currently, I work with 11 different coalitions, and I just got something from Audit the Vote, which is absolutely very cool that they're supporting me. But I work with 11 different coalitions, and I have been doing it for the past 4 years. And having that many coalitions to start off my adventure with, if I am elected, is an absolute positive and a plus. And on Saturday, I will be more than glad to share all the different coalitions that I work with. But right now, I only have a couple minutes. So I think that was my 2 minutes.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Cheryl. I appreciate that. Let me reset the timer. And then on behalf of Kaulana Lee, let me read his presentation. So hello, everyone, and thank you for having me here today. My name is Fenton Kaulana Lee. and I am a detail-oriented, organized, and dedicated individual with a strong work ethic. My experiences in event planning and management, as well as my service in the Marine Corps, have instilled in me the values of hard work, dedication, and service to the country, which make me a valuable asset to any team. As a skilled communicator, I take pride in my ability to foster collaboration and cooperation among members. Throughout my military career, I've had the privilege of working with many NATO coalition partners to execute bilateral operations on 5 out of the 8 continents in the world. This has not only given me a unique perspective on global affairs, but it has also taught me the importance of building strong relationships and working towards a common goal. As a department manager, I've demonstrated an ability to analyze situations critically, think creatively, and make decisions effectively. These skills have been instrumental in my work with the Hawaii Republican Party, where I'm committed to promoting the values and objectives of the party while upholding patriotic values and promoting the prosperity and well-being of Hawaii. In my free time, I enjoy attending community events and engaging with local organizations to better understand the needs and concerns of our community. I'm also passionate about voter outreach and engagement, and I believe that increasing the number of registered Republican voters in Hawaii would not only help strengthen the party's base, but could also increase the likelihood of electing Republican candidates to office in the state. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me today. I'm excited to be part of this event, and I look forward to working with you all to achieve our shared goals. Thank you. Okay, and then let's see. I will take the first question on uniquely suited. So the question is, what makes you uniquely suited for the position you are pursuing? And Kaulana writes, as someone who has a track record of building strong relationships and fostering collaboration, I'm uniquely suited to lead the coalition building efforts of our organization. My future plans include meeting with leaders of each coalition group to understand their priorities and develop a plan for collaboration. I will attend events hosted by each coalition group to build relationships and demonstrate support for their work. Additionally, I will host a networking event for coalition partners to meet each other, share best practices, and identify opportunities for collaboration. By working together and identifying key issues that are important to each coalition group, we can develop strategies to address them. I am confident that my experience in recruiting volunteers, developing outreach material, and evaluating progress towards coalition goals will ensure that our efforts are effective and impactful. All right, Cheryl, over to you for your thoughts on your unique qualifications.
Okay, so for the past 4 years, I have been politically active, from organizing, coordinating, and promoting Trump rallies, caravans, and convoys on Oahu. Those rallies brought in over 100,000 new and walkaway votes to the Republican Party. So where are they? But we need to find them. I've stood on the front line for weeks on end defending HPD, where our officers were wrongly charged in a self-defense shooting. I stood with Back the Blue Hawaii, SHOPO, ILWU. I actually held the front lines after Aloha Freedom Coalition left Waikiki, and I held the front lines there, and that was in respect to the tyrannical mandates that were imposed upon us by Josh Green and David Ige. I'm at the Capitol fighting bills to protect our rights, to protect our children's rights. I stand and work with Moms for Liberty, Fathers and Mothers for Children, Hawaii Parents United, for our rights, and many other different coalitions. So I think having that under my belt might give me a little bit of a good reason for why I'm running for coalitions.
All right, thank you, Cheryl. And let's see. Do you want to roll right into what success looks like for you at the end of your tenure?
Sure, absolutely. So to me, success looks like a two-party system. Success to me looks like we are more red than they say that we are. So to get enough people registered into our party, to be able to get enough people into the legislature and the council, and to be able to be united and not divided like we are. We have never been so divided before. There has never been so much nonsense going on within the party before. So for me, by the time that I leave, having more people represent us, more people in the party, and people who follow the rules of the party is the most important.
All right, thank you. and then reset. Okay, so Kaulana writes, with respect to what success looks like at the end of his tenure. At the end of my tenure, I envision having increased the number of registered Republican voters in Hawaii, as well as expanding our coalition partnerships. Achieving these goals would not only strengthen our party's base, but also broaden our reach and influence in the community. Ultimately, I hope to lead the party to victory in key local, state, and national elections in Hawaii. Successfully electing Republican candidates to office would be a significant accomplishment and a testament to the effectiveness of our coalition building and outreach efforts. Through collaboration, hard work, and dedication to our values, I am confident that we can achieve these objectives and promote the prosperity and well-being of Hawaii. Thank you. All right, that concludes our section on coalitions. Thank you, Cheryl, and thank you, Kaulana. All right, our second to last section here is for state secretary. We have two candidates in alphabetical order, Anna Hudson and Taylor Ka'aumawana. And let's see, Anna, I saw you. Taylor, are you on?
I'm here.
Okay, awesome. Because I was like, I don't think I got a speech for you, so I'm in trouble. Okay, let's go ahead and reset the timer here. And Anna, how about we start with you for your 2-minute slot?
Aloha. My name is Anna Misako Hudson, and I'm running for state secretary. I have 4 years of active full-time involvement in the party, which has prepared me for the greater responsibilities of this position. My ultimate goal mirrors Team Dollhouse goal, which is to support candidates, elect more Republicans. I have a BA in Recreation Administration and Master's in Public Administration. I worked as a recreation supervisor for 31 years, planning events and meetings for a youth advisory commission and later a senior advisory committee. One of my main responsibilities was to meticulously follow the open meeting law, which I wrote and posted agendas, minutes, statements, while maintaining accurate records and files. It's important for the state secretary to understand the party dynamics and how to call to actions starts at the grassroots level. I began volunteering in 2020 for the Hawaii for Trump campaign, who joined HRP to get out the vote. I volunteered as a membership coordinator, sharing information with county chairs statewide. I was elected in 2020 as district chair, 21 as elected regional vice chair of Central Oahu, and I was also appointed deputy secretary to assist during state meetings as well as help planning conventions and fundraisers. I will continue to support my representative of our district, who is the minority leader, Rep. Matsumoto, and between her and the state chair, Finnegan, we helped Republican candidates run a successful campaign. And as state secretary, I'm fully capable of fulfilling my responsibilities in a professional manner, but the real work is to support state chair and committee to accomplish the overall goals of the party. Thank you for your consideration and support, and I ask you for the vote.
All right, thank you, Anna. Let me reset my timer. And Taylor, can you provide us your 2-minute thoughts on why you're running for office?
Aloha, everyone. I'm Taylor Kalekomaka Ka'aumawana, and running for office is really just being a part of the community and being more impacted with what's been going on. I currently work at the state capitol. Today was the last day for the adjournment on certain bills, and it was crazy to see that a lot of people lack leadership, even though they were elected for certain positions. Leadership for me started in the 6th grade. I was the president of the library club, and in high school, I was also the person that kept people accountable. So we had a program called peer education. So you just taught people how to be informed citizens of America, teaching values, teaching awareness of things that could be going on in the state, and going into working. I worked with one of the best companies, and I served with a lot of people in different branches of the military. They were my mentors and guided me through fighting for my freedom. Respectfully, just getting that perspective from them was teaching me how to fight in different scenarios and educating myself on how to prepare others in the community. So I do a lot of community service, and I don't blast it on social media, but I think the most important thing is spending time with those that are looking for help. For me, being a conservative has always been my lifestyle, partnered with sharing aloha. And even though people looked at me as being young, I did mentor and counsel and interviewed a lot of people for jobs, helped a lot of single mothers get out there in the job force, and just tracking paperwork. I did a lot of customer service and inventory and worked with the most amazing people in marketing and business coalitions. So overall, just fighting for our freedom and learning what voting means and who you elect into office is very beneficial to not just the state, but for the nation and for the whole world. And I see that as my dream and vision is to make an impact on the world, not just my community, but it starts in the community. It starts in your neighborhood. And so
Hey,
I'm
Taylor, you get time, so if you could conclude.
okay. Well, thank you for your time.
Okay. All right. Sorry to cut you off there. A little bit over time. Why don't you keep the mic, Taylor, and give us your 1-minute thoughts on why are you uniquely qualified for the position?
Like I was saying, Steve, I helped a lot of coworkers just get out there. And I think the main thing was reaching out to the community and asking people if they needed help. A lot of people that I graduated with, they're out on the streets or they're homeless, and they chose that. The main thing for me is allowing them to know the truth and to seek help. So making friends with those in various companies, various places that they could find guidance and get themselves back on their feet. So behind the scenes, doing a lot of things with corporate nonprofit organizations, preparing documentations, helping with basically social working, managing and scheduling people's appointments, and doing that for elderly, doing that for special needs students. I'm so impacted on what I could do for this island and for all the islands to come if I am elected and voted for secretary. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Taylor. Appreciate that. Anna Hudson, your thoughts on why you are uniquely qualified? And please come off of mute.
Aside from my education and my professional background, I grew up as a military dependent, and I think that contributes to my ability to adapt easily to my surroundings. And I feel like I could work well with people and different cultures. And also, I did run for state senate last year against Donovan Dela Cruz, and I was fortunate to have a support of many of the party members and district, and I really like to see that happen as we get more organized districts and precincts. I'm really surprised that some officials, caucus members, got elected because some of those precincts and districts are not are organized. So I just feel that just my background and my experiences, I could really share that over and beyond what I need to do as secretary, and then also working with all the committee members, making sure that everything goes out in a timely manner, maybe even creating a calendar finally, so that everyone will know what's going on, and just keeping in touch with everybody that's doing something out there.
Okay, thank you, Anna. Okay, and then why don't you hold the mic, Anna, and tell us what success looks like for you at the end of your tenure?
Well, like I said, our goal is to elect more Republicans. And so I feel that if we could get more accomplished during our state meetings, focus on the agenda, and just just be successful in trying to getting everyone on the same page. I think that would be really helpful. As Tim Dahlhouse says, if it's not talking about getting people elected, then we just need to stay focused on what we need to do. And so success means, like we said, doubling at least the representatives right now. It's a long road, so we know it's not going to happen next year, but eventually it's going to happen. And remember, we're a pretty blue state, and so we need to transfer some of those Democrats to be Republicans, and we need to get their vote. It's not just about, we don't have enough Republican vote to win, so we need to really talk to our friends and families and tell them why it's important to vote red next year.
All right, thank you. Okay, thanks, Anna. And then Taylor, why don't you wrap up this section with your thoughts on what success looks like for you at the end of your tenure?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we have you now.
Okay. So there's a journey to success, and then there's a success. And for me, it's just continuing to share that aloha. I had volunteered and sign waived for some amazing candidates. That's how I learned how just strong the leadership and the Republican Party is. Being a Republican is knowing our values and going back to the Constitution. That's why I'm grateful for Constitution of States and all those amazing coalitions, because it can help people of all ages. So no matter what, I'm living the success. I mean, right now I am the regional vice chair for Central Oahu, and I think it needs more aloha, more TLC, more organization. And so I'm just grateful to be a part of that and to be with all of you. And we're just going to keep on running every day, educating people, being friends with people, and just sharing those values and giving those facts and being truthful in love. Mahalo.
All right. Thank you, Taylor. Thank you, Anna. We appreciate your time and your thoughts. And we are now going to move into the last section, which is for the state treasurer position. We have 3 candidates running for that. Alphabetically, it's Jody Beatty, Dan Johnson, and Sheila Walker. And then, Brett, can you confirm that Dan Johnson is or isn't on the call?
Neither Dan Johnson or Jody are on the call.
Okay, so Joelle Seashell is going to read for Jody. So we'll have 2 speakers tonight for this last segment here. So let's see. Why don't we start with Sheila Walker? Sheila, why don't you give us your 2-minute thoughts on why you're running for this position? And please come off of mute.
Thank you, Steve, and thank you to everyone listening to this call. The problem is not counting the money. The problem that there is no money to count. And as we sit idly by, our expenses keep going up, up, and up. We are burning through our last precious cash resources. I don't believe the rank and file members of the party realize how desperate the financial situation is in the HRP. It's not an exaggeration to say that within 3 months, our party faces certain bankruptcy if we don't bring in large amounts of cash. If we don't put a tourniquet on this financial hemorrhaging immediately, we will be desperate paupers trying to organize a futile resistance. The Democrats are a well-funded, organized, and unified political machine. We must stabilize our financial situation and immediately bring in real, cold, hard cash. No excuses, no whining, no petty squabbling over who's more popular than who. We must put childish grievances aside and be laser focused on the goal. I'm the only one with the guts to stop the bleed, and I'm the only one with the powerful contacts to bring in the money that we so desperately need. We are here for one purpose alone. Let's win elections. Vote Sheila Walker and Team Dahlhouse. Thank you, Steve.
All right. Thank you, Sheila. I appreciate that. And on behalf of Jody Beatty, Joelle Seashell, you have the floor.
Aloha, my name is Jody Beatty from District 51 on the windward side of the beautiful island of Oahu. and I am running to be your next state treasurer. I have been in the accounting field for over 30 years, and for the past 10 years, I have been proud to be an educator in our public school system who believes in conservative values. I have held the treasurer position on several boards and have extensive knowledge of preparing accurate, factual, and on-time financial statements. I am detail-oriented and have phenomenal organizational skills, so you can rest assured that I will separate all the individual county and state funds and promptly deliver financial information to all state meetings and to all county treasurers. In addition, I believe that training is necessary when entering into any role. 4 years ago, I received my PhD in instructional management and leadership. With these skills, and as state treasurer, I would unite the county and district treasurers to come together to plan and develop a system that can be passed on to future treasurers. By having a structure in place, all treasurers will be on the same page and have an organizational system so that anyone in any treasury position will know precisely where their accounts are and where to submit documentation. I aim to bring transparency to all and build leaders within our Republican Party. I so humbly request your support. Please vote for Jody Beatty for state treasurer. Mahalo.
All right. Thank you, Jody and Joelle. Appreciate that. And then, Jody, why don't you keep the mic and give us your thoughts on your unique qualifications for the position.
Steve, do you have anything on Dan Johnson?
Well, if you guys would just give me a second, I'll double check, but I don't think so.
I didn't see anything.
Okay. If I can just ask you guys for a quick pause, because I don't want to hose anybody over here accidentally. I don't want to hose anyone over on purpose either. Okay, I do not see anything from him. Okay. So let's see. I think that takes us over. I'm sorry, I lost track of where I was. Did we do the unique qualifications for Joel?
For Jody, yes.
Okay.
That's where you left off.
Okay. So, Joel, can you give us those positions or those points?
Yeah, so Jody has kept it short and sweet. She says her unique qualification is her 30 plus years of accounting and management background.
Okay, thank you. And then Sheila Walker, over to you for your thoughts on your unique qualifications.
Thank you, Steve. What puts me ahead of my competition is that I'm a self-made millionaire. I'm here because I've been blessed by the American dream. And it's my obligation to ensure that our future generations have the same opportunities that I've had. Most of you know that I ran for state senate. I could have easily paid for my own campaign, but I didn't. I chose to run a publicly funded campaign. And that means I had limits on how much money I could raise, and the reporting standards were extremely strenuous. I raised over $30,000 in less than 5 months, which is more than almost 3 times any other candidate on Maui. I even contributed $500 to Dan Johnson's campaign because I believe in supporting candidates and furthering our shared values. The simple fact is that we need money to win elections, and I'm the only one that will make that happen. Let's win elections. Vote Sheila Walker and Team Dollhouse. Thank you.
All right. Thanks you, Sheila. And then might as well have you hold on to the mic and tell us what your vision of success looks like.
At the end of my term as state treasurer, the party will have a functional, streamlined, user-friendly system for cash management, monthly donor subscriptions, and a proven record of getting candidates elected. I didn't grow up wanting to be a treasurer. However, in good conscience, I can't stand by and allow flagrant incompetency to ruin the future of our party. It's time to run the party like a successful business, not a self-congratulatory social club of perpetual election losers. We have a great message. We have excellent people. Now all we need are the financial resources to accomplish our goal. Let's win elections. Vote Sheila Walker, Team Dollhouse. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Sheila. And then Joel, why don't you wrap up the evening for us with Jody Beatty's thoughts on what success will look like at the end of her tenure.
Thank you, Steve. So again, short and sweet. Her statement is to do a complete audit of the books and develop a treasurer's manual to pass on to future treasurers, a standard operating procedure.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right, folks. Well, that wraps up our evening. I think we finished in pretty record time here. So I appreciate all the candidates coming forward. Again, the idea was to give everyone some opportunity to give their thoughts and present what they think their unique qualifications are, and more importantly, to allow folks who aren't going to be at convention. Again, maybe 1% of the folks are going to go to convention, so it'll give a recording available for those folks to say, hey, this is who those candidates are. So appreciate everyone's time, appreciate everyone's insights, and we will see you in Hilo. Good night, everybody.
Together, Steve and Brett. Appreciate it.
You bet. Thank you, Brett. I appreciate it. All right. Good night, everyone.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Brett.